I want to talk about the NBA Finals for a second.
Yeah,
we spent 55 minutes. We didn't talk about some hoops. And I think, you know what? Shame on the NBA. I don't know if people are capturing these finals. I thought it was a fun basketball game yesterday. I thought the first half was really good. And then Jokic took over in the third quarter. He just took it over. I mean, the first ever 30, 20, and 10 game. The first ever 30, 20, and 10 game in the NBA Finals. The first time two teammates both dropped a triple-double in the NBA Finals game. Murray had 30 plus, 10 and 10. I mean, it was just
outstanding.
Unbelievable basketball yesterday being played there by the Denver Nuggets. So I want to play a couple clips here. First from J.J. Redick, who on First Take the other day, he said something about the Denver Nuggets. By the way, as I was watching the game yesterday, Shasky, I was a little pissed off.
Why is that?
One, I saw Christian Brown balling, a youngster, right? 15 points as a rookie, and I get he played all these games at Kansas. And he has a lot of experience. But Mike Malone sticking with the rookie because Michael Porter Jr., again, is becoming unplayable in this series.
Yeah.
It looks like he's turning into a pumpkin.
Well, and I got to give credit to Mike Malone not just continuing to trot him back out there because he's been a very integral part of their team all year. He's making a lot of money, and yet I think it takes a lot of stones to move off him.
Yep, no doubt. So, I mean, he's playing well. 19 minutes, 7 of 8, 15 points. Jokic and Murray was special game. Jokic, 32 points, 21 rebounds, 10 assists. The first ever 30, 20, 10 game in NBA Finals history. I mean, it's just unbelievable. My buddy front office believes that Jokic is already a top 3 center in NBA history. And I said, dude, don't disrespect Bill Russell. Whoa. Don't disrespect Will Chamberlain. I'm not going to. Yeah. I was just like, relax a little bit. But Jokic has a chance to be one of the best ever at the center position. But Jamal Murray, 34 points, 10 assists.
In the modern era.
Yeah, no, right? 34 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds for Jamal Murray. Yeah. And I'm watching that game thinking, the Warriors are more talented than both these teams. I'm thinking that to myself watching the entire game saying, I believe the Warriors are better than both these teams. And this championship, sitting on the silver platter, this is one of the most wide-open NBA championships I've ever seen in my life. And I'm thinking to myself, damn it, the Warriors are better than Miami. And I think they could have gave Denver a run for their money in the Western Conference Finals.
More so than the Lakers? You think the Lakers was just such a bad matchup for the Warriors, but yet when you roll it into the Nuggets, because I mean, if Anthony Davis is struggling against Jokic, how would the Warriors have fared?
It wouldn't have fared. It wouldn't have been pretty.
I think this year's version of the Warriors was a little broken. No, maybe if the spirit is better, they give it a better run. I have a hard time meeting you, but keep going.
Right. But I did feel like, whoa. Wiggins could slow down Murray, I believe. And do they have an answer for Stephen Curry? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The shooting that the Warriors pose towards the Denver Nuggets. But anyway, they're not here. But here's what J.J. Redick said the other day. Spadoni, if you can play this here. J.J. Redick, on First Take the other day, believes the West is going to go through Denver for a very long time.
Regardless of what happens in this series, we are entering a phase where the Denver Nuggets will be the favorites in the Western Conference going forward for the foreseeable future. They have been the best team in the West this year. They went through a tough gauntlet to get to the finals. Their core 4 guys, Jokic, Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., 28, 27, 26, 24, all just entering or about to enter their primes. There's a long runway in Denver for this team to contend for titles, and ultimately every team in the West is going to have to go through Denver.
You agree with J.J. Redick there?
I think for next year, yeah, because they've earned that benefit of the doubt. They were a really good team, and it feels like they're going to be intact. Now, can their bench change? Like we watched when the Warriors, lost Jared Jack and Carl Landry. It took a couple years to find replacement bench type, and they didn't even win a championship, by the way, with those guys. It took a couple years to find replacement bench players. I mean, it took them a while to find replacements for Sean Livingston.
Right.
So, I want to see what ends up happening with Bruce Brown, because I do think he's important to their team. I want to see what happens with KCP, because I think he's important. But if you told me...
Well, he's going to be back next year.
He's for sure locked in?
Yeah, he's back. He's locked in for next year.
So for some reason, I thought he had an opt-out.
So he's back for next year. Murray's back. Jokic is back. Gordon's
MPJ's back.
MPJ's back. And Christian Brown's back. Bruce Brown, I believe, is a free agent,
so
correct?
Bruce Brown's the one who's the free agent.
Bruce Brown's
I thought it was KCP as well. Apologies. Yeah. Okay, now knowing that information, I think they've earned that benefit of the doubt. I think that's the team you got to play through. Now, does that mean that we can get 2 months into the season and things can change? presented with new information, like my name's Jay Monahan, I could pivot and try to reach a different settlement. But right now, I think they've earned that. And Jokic feels like the best player on the planet. And that's not a disrespect to Steph Curry. It's just like Jokic has been the best player or second best player for the last 4 or 5 years. So he earns credit. And I think you have to respect them.
Yeah, I think this could be the beginning of something special for the Denver Nuggets. And they've gone through the progression in the playoffs, right? Losing in the second round, a Game 7 at home to the Portland Trail Blazers. Losing in the bubble in the Western Conference Finals to the LA Lakers in 5 games. They've had these stumbles, but they've built and built and built and gone through that playoff, kind of like the Bulls and Jordan. Couldn't get past the Pistons, couldn't get past the second round, couldn't get past the conference finals. Finally, they break through and boom, the rest is history. So with that said, because I do agree that the West is going to go through Denver. It's going to be very tough. There's no answer for Nikola Jokic. There's absolutely none. You cannot stop him. He's averaging a triple-double during this postseason. It's one of the sickest postseason runs we've ever seen. It's on par with Hakeem in 94. It's on par with Dirk Nowitzki in 2011. It's on par with Wade in 06. It's on par with Jordan's years. It's on par with Charles Barkley. I mean, this guy's having an iconic run. And on the flip side, Jamal Murray's right there alongside of him. So how do you slow down this two-man game between Jokic and Murray? That's what you got to devise up if you're going to go to State Warriors. How do we slow down this two-man game knowing they have shooters around them? It's going to be very difficult. Aaron Gordon slashed it to the basket. The perfect glue guy for that team.
Another 10 rebounds yesterday.
Another 10 rebounds. Physical, cutting to the basket.
To me, the biggest issue, we could talk about players and Jokic. To me, length is the area that they have over the Warriors that I just don't, like, if you roll back a comparable team that you have this year, what are your size options against a team like that?
Yeah, I don't know. So the Warriors got to figure that out.
That's where I'm the most concerned.
Warriors got to figure this out. Now, this is something interesting that you guys sent to the thread. Dan Le Batard, of course. Dan Le Batard is tapped in, big Miami guy. But he said this about Jokic, and I agree with him. We need to embrace this young man. But don't know if you can roll it.
You got a player who's foreign, who, if he were American, good God, would he be a star? Good God. Same personality. Same exact personality. Holy, with that, a white dude's dominating the NBA? Yeah, but it's a white dude, but we don't understand or know him. Where does he come from? Oh, shit. What's his past? What? His brothers? What? What is all that? All that is rugged beyond all of your belief, here to get the money, dominating the sport with an assortment of survival skills that make him someone who feel like he's joylessly tearing apart your league because he can with his armpits.
You're making him out to be Rambo. I mean.
He is! You guys are telling me. You know what? Rambo could not pull this one off. He's Magic and Bird, and America hates him. What?
I don't know if America
hates that Cody and Stugotz can publicly come by that opinion without apology.
So that's Le Batard.
I don't know if America hates him. I think that there's an indifference, not a hate, but I agree with the original point, which is if he had went to Duke, and he was an American-born guy, I do believe he would be infinitely higher on the Q rating level.
He's a second-round pick.
40-something, 42?
41. A second-round pick who's won 2 MVPs. And he's 2 games away from an NBA championship. And the stuff he does on the floor. Game 2, he had a pass where he grabbed it in the air and snapped it to Aaron Gordon for a dunk. The no looks, his handles, his shot making, the soft touch, all this shot.
Well,
Van Gundy was saying it. Van Gundy was saying it in the game 2. He goes, Jokic has a way of shooting and getting all the rolls.
I know.
Because it softly touches the rim. This guy's a star. And he doesn't get the hype. Like Joel Embiid gets all the hype, and I get it. And because he went to Kansas for 1 year, so we got to see him for 1 year here in America.
Social media,
college basketball, and social media. He embraces that.
Yeah, and he's in commercials.
Jokic is like, I'm gonna be more Larry Bird. I'm gonna chill in the background.
Was White Chocolate a bigger fan favorite than where Jokic is at? Or am I misremembering?
No, White Chocolate was big time.
Because I'm trying to think of non-Larry Bird guys since then who have been very, very popular. Like even Psycho T, because of who he was and the school he went to, felt like his profile was so high. Remember Tyler Hansbrough is what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right? So I think Dan's onto something.
Dan is onto something. Think about Austin Reeves. and the way people embrace Austin Reeves
Yeah.
hasn't accomplished nearly
point.
the type of things
Is the,
Jokic is.
is the LeBron factor, though, part of that? And the Laker brand?
Laker brand,
Yeah.
LeBron,
But-
playing in those spotlight games. Same thing happened with Caruso at
Yeah,
one point.
yeah.
Alex Caruso.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, you got to go get Alex Caruso. Jokic is Bird, Magic. He's got the footwork like Hakeem Olajuwon.
He plays
He's
minutes.
He's got fundamentals like Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
He's the complete package.
He passes, whether you think, in terms of passing bigs, some people are going to say Brad Miller. You might go
Right.
up to Arvydas Sabonis. Pick who you want as the best
Right.
passing big. The way he goes to the top of the key, puts his left elbow out, holds the ball
Yep.
up here, and then throws you an alley or hits
Yep.
you on an angle. He's just the ability to use his length and leverage without leaping.
Mm-hmm.
God, he's so good.
They asked him yesterday about the 30-20-10 game, and he's like, it's just a stat line to me. It doesn't matter.
Is
Just a
Luka,
stat line to me.
because Luka's a foreign player, isn't Luka beloved?
Yeah, more so beloved than Jokic, which shouldn't be. I think that's starting to drop now, though, because of the way he could play and the way he didn't make the playoffs this year. All right, and the way he got exposed in the Western Conference Finals a season ago, and the way he plays and mopes and cries, that takes away something. That's why a lot of people turned off of James Harden. It's like, you're complaining all the time. Chris Paul, you're complaining all the time. Just play ball. That's why LeBron James, he's an all-time great. But a little luster that he had, he's lost a little luster because of the way he flops and complains.
Well, when you talk to people just outside of this sports world we're in here at the radio station, the first thing people say about, oh, God, the crybaby. That's what people call him.
Yep. No doubt. I agree with Dan Levitard there. But I am not going to lie to you. Watching that game yesterday ticked me off thinking the Warriors had a chance to be there for ring number 5. This championship was so wide open. And for a number of reasons, they just could not get it together.
Is America just, does America just struggle to embrace foreign-born players in any sport?
No, because they've embraced Giannis, right?
Yeah.
And 707 Comcast
Yeah.
Business Text Line. I didn't say anything about race. I'm saying we're not embracing Joker. He's a baller. I don't care what color he is.
But does Giannis, okay, because I'm glad that you brought up Giannis, and he's Greek and whatnot. Giannis is beloved, but does he rate like that?
You know what's funny about Giannis? It feels like his peers tend to hate on him.
Really?
Yeah. Remember when Harden was battling him for MVPs? All he does is run and jump and dunk. He doesn't do anything.
Interesting.
And LeBron, they kind of, Giannis, yeah, okay. There's like this in their NBA bubble. I don't know if he has a lot of skills. Why are we embracing him? And maybe there was some jealousy because he was from Greece, we played in Greece, and obviously he's Nigerian by way of Greece. But the fact that they're embracing him and a guy like maybe James Harden's like, look, I've been in America, I played at Arizona State, I'm from LA. Why aren't you guys embracing me like that? Maybe there is some jealousy towards some of these guys that come from overseas.
That's interesting.
And get embraced.
I'm trying to think of other sports, right? Like football's so different because no other country really plays football for the most part. Canada, but like I look at like baseball, and there are some marketable, very beloved foreign-born players. David Ortiz comes to mind.
Right.
But
a lot of baseball players.
But think of how long it took David Ortiz to be loved by America.
Yeah, but yeah.
He was a Boston icon.
Right.
But Pedro Martinez, do you think he's beloved like that?
I don't know.
I love him, but maybe others don't.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
Like I go back to Mark McGwire versus Sammy Sosa. I always felt like Sammy Sosa wasn't, and he was loved, but wasn't as loved because he was from. I look at hockey, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of foreign-born players in hockey, and I think that's one of the difficult hurdles that hockey has to overcome.
Well, how about this? The Vikings, according to Adam Schefter, the Vikings are expected to try to trade 4-time Pro Bowl running back Dalvin Cook one more time today. If they are unable to, they will plan to process his official release on Friday. So Dalvin Cook will become a free agent possibly tomorrow. And a lot of people are already pinpointing
Rams
Miami.
on line one.
A lot of people are saying the Miami Dolphins.
Miami, oh, okay.
He's from there. He'll be in the same division as his brother, James Cook, up in Buffalo. Dalvin Cook still got some juice left.
Well, I'm seeing people come in here and they're saying it's because people don't think that the center position is sexy. Shaq was one of the most marketable players in the history of the game.
Hakeem Olajuwon, we still talk about to this day. Will Chamberlain, we still talk about to this day. We love a good big man.
Yeah.
We love a good big man.
You think
That's why
we
the
do?
heavyweight division, I was just reading something about boxing and the heavyweight division, or the sport of boxing saying we need a heavyweight division.
To be
It's
good.
not like the big guys. It's not like the big guys. So, I don't know. Jokic, I think Jokic now is about to get a lot of respect, though, for the way he's playing. And I don't care what color he is, what race he is, the guy's a baller.
Oh.
And the NBA is a better game because of him. He plays honest
All-timer.
basketball. Pure basketball. Doesn't complain. Just gets back on defense. Guy's a player. The league is better for it. But I want baseball. They do. Major League Baseball, I think, does a better job, or fans at least does do a better job of embracing foreign players. I don't know why it's like that in the NBA. Maybe there's a lot of jealousy. I don't know. But the West going through the Denver Nuggets for the foreseeable future, yeah, they're a problem. They're not going anywhere here.